Okay, so this is a follow-up to a previous video talking about this piece of crap in front of me. It's a Browning 1911 380. I just received this back from Browning after no work was done. I'll talk about that in a second. To start with, we'll see clear. The problem with this firearm is that it will not go into battery, or at least it didn't before I sent it in. Maybe they did some work and didn't tell me about it. We'll find out here in a second. Long story short, I sent this to them per their request, and then they said they would not cover it. It looks like they sent it back to me. I don't know if that's going to come through on camera with a bonus scratch that wasn't there before. Finding things out as I go here. The problem that I sent it in for was that it would not go into battery. They do not have a published warranty anywhere that I know of. I called them. They said, send it in. We'll take care of it. 6 weeks after I sent it in, they sent me a quote saying I needed to pay them $200 for unspecified services to get it functional. I did not find that acceptable at all. Apparently this is a known issue with these pistols. They sent me the quote because they said the warranty runs out at 5 years, which they don't publish that anywhere. They just kind of said 5 years, and this is 5.5 years old. So after essentially going full Karen on them, they agreed to send it back without charging the $50 they were going to charge as a assessment fee. So I'm going to apparently be doing this on my own. And like I said, I'm going to start with just seeing if this thing will chamber and if the problem is still present. I'm going to try 3 different kinds of ammo. I've got some Aguila, I don't know if I'm saying that right, some Remington UMC, some Winchester white box, and so I'm just going to pick one of these out. Now if I pull this out, you'll notice I've got some over here, and in fact, because I tested these before I sent it in, and if you notice, I don't know if it comes through on camera, there's a bunch of scratching that's on the outside of the case there, kind of up on the bullet surface and on the case rim. So I separated those out. So the one I'm going to run here is clean. So it looks like it almost made it. Notice that didn't come up. I'm not flush on the back, so I have to move it in on my own. So lock that on an empty. And again, I can see the scratching right there. Now, just as a test, I'm going to make a mark on the top of the case. And a double on approximately the bottom. So we will do the same test again. And again, notice Failed to enter battery. I'm still logged back, and I can push it to complete it. So looking at our marks, it's kind of easier to see with that there. Actually scratching up the case on the top, and this scratching is occurring on the bottom as well. So I'm just gonna put that in. I'm not gonna mar. Oh, I already got scratches on that too. So next we'll try this Remington UMC stuff. I don't think I've run any of these through. No, I did. Both of these two are clean. I'm just going to do the same marks. If my marker cooperates. So one line on top, two on the bottom. And we'll just put one in. And the worst one yet. And again, I can always snap at helm, but that wouldn't exactly do much in a firefight, I suppose. So this time looks like nothing on top, but I definitely have the scratching on the bottom. And actually a little bit of scratching on the bullet itself. Just for giggles, I'm gonna do the same one again. I'm just gonna drop. So, again, it really does not like that one. So, definite scratching, but nothing on the top. Okay, so it doesn't like that. Try some good old white box. Now these are the flat instead of round, so maybe that'll make a difference. I'm just gonna mark. I'll switch markers here since that one is failing me. Now, I will note one thing. I can't confirm it because I didn't mark it in any way, shape, or form. But it does feel to me like this is a new magazine compared to the one I sent in. So, definitely seems like the lips are different. It felt like the old ones extended out a bit more than this one does. Again, I can't confirm it. I don't think I took pictures of that, unfortunately. But back to the test. Same thing. So even the flat did not make a difference. Let's take a look at the bullet. Some real clear scratching and distortion on that line. Again, nothing on the top. So at this point, there's three different brands and types of ammo. They're all essentially doing the same thing. What I'm going to try to see now, so let's see what happens. So it doesn't appear that there's any kind of odd angle. I mean, it does seem to be sitting pretty high off the cone there. When it goes into position, and to me that looks a little tight, like I can see a little bit of a gap to the chamber there, but then I would kind of expect the scratching on the top side. But it's not really until we get here that I feel the resistance. At that point, I mean, I'm already seeing it on the extractor. And again, I can force it the rest of the way. So, I may play with that more in a little bit, but yeah, problem is still here, and still not expecting to ever buy from Browning again. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'm just gonna take this down a... Okay, like I said, this is, I think, the second 1911 I've ever owned of a new variety. So one thing I got asked about talking with some friends about this is just, whenever I'm actually just plopping these in, there is no resistance. And that's true on any of these brands. Nice positive. Boop. Lines up well. So again, I'm not anticipating that is my problem. Just for giggles here. Obviously this is kind of a bad test, but I'm just curious. I'm thinking out loud here. Browning doesn't want to help me, so I'm just gonna kind of think and play. That's my several $100 waste at this moment. But I just kind of want to look at this alignment here. So I'm seeing that come way up above that ramp, but whenever, I'm just pushing that in there. It seems cool, I guess. So that transition was smooth, but sure doesn't like it when it's getting pushed by this guy. so that should demonstrate why I do not claim to be an expert on 1911s. So, again, I'm just going to do one. Try to look what is happening. So, starting off, then coming up, and then it looks like it's just being held at that upward angle, like it's not riding up that extractor. So that'll be my working theory anyway. We'll find out. Okay, so I am back, and this is only maybe 10-15 minutes after I stopped recording on the last video. And if you notice, I'm actually going to load up 5 rounds. These are all clean, unmolested rounds, because I'm feeling like this might go a little different. So, all the way in, right there, the whole way. Now, doesn't like to eject those, but hey, look, all the way in again. All the way. Now, what I can't test in my garage is whether these would eject properly if there wasn't a bullet in there. But I have never had 5 run through like that. And the other thing is that going through these, I have no markings on them. So what I did after I stopped the last recording was the working theory had been that it seemed like the extractor, yeah, I think I'm getting my terminology right. Right there was binding. It seemed like the round wasn't able to ride up in that channel. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but it looked like the case rim was getting stuck down there at the bottom, not riding up. So I actually took this out, and I completely did a redneck thing where I put the end of it, that would be the visible part that we could see, in there, and just bent it a little bit. Not much. I mean, you couldn't, I don't know how you'd quantify it. I did not do much. And as soon as I did that, then I tested and had much better results. So I'm gonna kind of go through this and kind of demonstrate what I did, and at least a little bit of a note there. So I'm just gonna take my punch to get the firing pin down. You have to be real careful because that thing will zoom out. So I'm going to take the firing pin and spring out. So now right here I can get to the extractor. Now, one thing I noticed when on the earlier test is that this thing was just ridiculously tense compared to what it is now. So, like right now, there's virtually no resistance. I can just, put it in, take it out, no problem. Whereas before I did this adjustment, I mean, I had to actually pull that thing. Again, to my eye, this thing basically looks straight. So I did not tweak this much. And again, all I did was put it in there, gave it some thumb pressure, and then, like I said, afterwards, I could just drop it right back in. And that was kind of the first, to me, sign that that might really have been the problem, because of the difference in tension sliding that in and out. Now, the next fun part is getting this guy back in. Okay, that would have been the smarter way to do it. So, note to self. Okay. So, now finish reassembly. Good news is, with any luck, I'm actually going to remember how to do this more effectively, as many times as I've had to take this thing apart and put it back together. Then again, once I confirm it's working, I'm honestly not planning on hanging on to this thing very long. It is a ruined experience. But one of my golden rules is that I will never ever sell something that I think is not working properly. So, I guess time will tell. I'll have to take it to the range. But, again, we'll just give it one more quick test. Picked on the UMC. So, pretty much all of those were just as expected. So, in summary, if your Browning 1911 380 is a piece of crap, don't trust that they're going to do anything about it, and maybe check the extractor. So, we'll hope that's all it is. Visit to the range will let me find out. Take care.